Silago, May 2023. The NGO Scaph Pro Oceanographic Research has been conducting a census mission in Silago since 2022. Silago is located east of the island of Leyte, on the Pacific coast of the Philippines. Silago is a municipality in the province of Southern Leyte, Philippines. According to the 2020 census, it has a population of 13,116 people. Bordered by a coral reef and jungle-covered mountains, this is the context in which this cooperative mission between the Philippines and France is taking place. The scientific diving team is developing a long-term census strategy. Indeed, a census of a marine sanctuary can take between 2 and 3 years. The Balagawan-Mercedes Marine Sanctuary has 2 different administrations: the Barangay of Balagawan and the Barangay of Mercedes. However, the 2 areas being geographically joint, it is for a scientific study of the same sanctuary 0.10 hectares for Balagawan and 13 hectares for Mercedes. That is a total of 23 hectares. Rectangle also for Barangay Mercedes, but no information today on the GPS point. 4 distinct zones can be determined by depth. The intertidal zone subject to the action of the tides for an average width of 40 meters. The coral zone between 0 and 23 meters deep for about 200 meters wide. The sand zone between 20 and 35 meters deep for in places 150 m wide. The semi-sandy and rocky area in the deepest part of the sanctuary. An exception zone, the lagoon, and the Mercedes mangrove. Description Area 1. The flat or intertidal zone that uncovers at low tide measures about 40 m. The surface is irregular, dug with holes up to 50 centimeters deep, forming pools of water at low tide, and is covered with brown algae Sargassum sp. Aquatic plants of the Cimadaceae family. A rich marine life. Echinoderms, brittle stars, and holothurians. Molluscs. Crustaceans, crabs, and some fish like gobies and small moray eels. The water here can be very hot 12 hours a day. Zone 1 is only covered with water at high tide. It is colonized by brown algae, then comes a 1 m deep step where the coral zone begins. It is about 50 meters shallow distance, maximum 4 meters deep. Beaten by the waves, it is however conducive to plant life. Sargassum and Turbinaria algae are very present there. For fauna, arthropods, lobsters, and crabs. Sabel worms, mollusks, clam, and chicoreas. Nudibranchs. Sponges. Echinoderms. Hydrozoans. Algae. And for fish, wrasse and damselfish. Zone 2 is initially heavily populated with sargassum and then tubenaria. Then comes a relatively flat area, sinking to 5 meters deep, over 50 meters away. The sargassum has disappeared to give way to padines. Massive corals that can weigh several tons from the Porites family. The fish are mainly parrotfish and butterfly fish. As well as some groupers. Damselfish, surgeonfish, arrowfish, Synathidae, triggerfish, tunicates, nudibranchs, hard corals, soft corals, algae, echinoderms, marine worms, sponges. Zone 3 is heavily populated with porite corals. The next area, 50 meters away, will sink to 11 meters deep. Rabbitfish. The variety of coral becomes more important with Acropora, tubenaria, and platygyra, as well as several species of mushroom corals. Hard coral, the algae present are the Halimeda. Soft coral, gorgonians, hydrozoans, anemones, sponges, marine worms, mollusks, Tunicates. Echinoderms. For the fish, angelfish. Squirrelfish. Cardinalfish. And still damselfish. Butterfly fish. Rabbitfish. Now whirlfish. Wrasse. Centriscidae. Leopropomatidae. Catfish. Convict blenny. Stonefish. Synathidae. Sweet leaps. Trumpetfish. Zone 4 is populated by acropora and mushroom corals and is pierced by long canyons. The next zone also extends over 50 meters in distance and goes down to 23 meters in a semi-rocky and sandy area. Soft corals, gorgonians, Junesiella, and cirripathes are very present. Hydroids. Antibatheria. Hard corals. Tunicates. Marine worms. Mollusks. For Pisces, gobies, rays, groupers, platak. Butterfly fish, trumpet fish, angelfish, damselfish, Lutonidae, sweet leaps, butterfly fish, rosses, lizardfish, sandperch, soapfish, pufferfish, barracuda. Like many barrel and tube sponges, Holometa algae are rarer. Zone 5 determines the transition and the end of the coral towards sand zones at 23 meters. The next zone is sandy with large grain size, shell, tunicates, jellyfish, shrimp, a sparsely inhabited area with little hiding place and possibility of fixing, mushroom corals, soft corals. It extends for about 50 meters up to 35 m deep. Sea pen, hammer coral, anemone, bryozoan, marine worms, tunicate, mollusk, echinoderms, shrimp, gootfishes, grouper, sweet leaps, goby fishes, puffers. However, there are groupers, triggerfish, and starfish, as well as gorgonians. Zone 6 is a sparsely populated sandy area, with the exception of a few rocks, because where you can still encounter groupers and gobies, this is the place for penatulas. Then around 32 m, an area little studied because of the depth, presents rocky piles alternating with sandy areas, where life is present. corals, Gorgonian fish butterflies, and pilotfish. Angelfish and groupers. Ray. Sponges. Echinoderms. Mollusks. Starminal fish. Wrasses. Puffers. Zone 7 is gradually sinking towards 40 or even 50 meters deep. IT is on the end of the limits of the sanctuaries. An exception zone the lagoon and the Mercedes mangrove. A lagoon and a mangrove are present in the sanctuary of Mercedes. Seagrass. They have a particular ecosystem of seagrass, unique in the sanctuaries and composed of an associated fauna rich in fry, cardinal fish, barracudas, scorpion fish, and wrasses. Jackfish have been observed and noted in this report, as well as live algae only in this area. Sponges. A very rare fish that can live out of the water has been observed in the mangrove, Periophthalmes argentillinatus. Echinoderms. Hermit crabs, mollusks. Description: the lagoon is approximately 100 m long, 30 m wide, and 2.5 m deep maximum. Pipefish.